Did you get it? Did you get it? I tried to give it to you. If you saw what I posted a little earlier, it was about some of the statements that were made, tweets that went out that the president was making, targeting four congresswomen that were Democrats. And there was a little jab in the way that I said it because I said, as history has shown, I said, can anyone on here that justifies a majority of the things that our current president does, can you justify this? Can you justify the statements he made toward these women? Why would he say something like that? And if he did, if it was taken out of context, can you explain how people are misinterpreting it? Which was a legitimate question until I probably added the part about, and can you do it without somehow or another blaming Barack Obama? That's my own little jab, you know what I'm saying? Fuck you. I was saying that because people use that. I've had direct interaction with people who will, instead of validating what it is that the president has said and done that seems a little unorthodox, they'll simply bring up a point where Barack Obama did something that other people did not or could not justify to them, you know. Which doesn't necessarily make sense to me because that's not who we're talking about and that's not what we're talking about. And bringing up the past does not condone the actions of the future. So why are you doing that? If you don't have an answer, it's fine. You can say you don't have an answer. Just giving any answer doesn't make what happened relevant. And you're not the spokesperson. You're not the representative. I'm not asking you to stand up on behalf of Trump. I'm just asking, since you see more of what I don't see in reference to his eligibility, his qualifications, can you, in conversation, run this one down for me, you know? Help me explain or help me understand what it is that he said. Because to me, it sounded like he just said something off the cuff again that probably doesn't condone our actions of a president. You know what I mean? So I did say that. And me being able to be honest, I can speak and say this, and you might not hear a lot of people say it of my complexion, that, yeah, the presidential term that Barack Obama had left a lot of people for 8 years high as a giraffe ass on the notion that somebody was a president that looked like them. And that was it. That was it. That was it. In its entirety. Not that he didn't make them same mistakes other presidents made. Not that he wasn't in the same category as some of the things that were questionable. Not that he was right when he was wrong or wrong when he was right. Just the simple fact that we're just enamored over the fact that there's a guy that looks similar to me who's at the forefront of the whole entire fucking nation. He's not just, you know, a congressman or senator. He is at the entire ball of wax. This guy is at the head of the fucking table. They almost want to relate this to a biblical, you know, reemergence of Jesus Christ. A bit much, but it's just, who would think that anybody would ever see that it would be allowed to happen in this America? Who would think that? North America, who? So it just seems so far-fetched. It's like, I can't believe it. And you stayed like that for 4 fucking years. Not behind his policy, not to whether he's out there smoking weed in the backyard, doing coke in between meetings, none of that. You don't know what the hell he's doing. But just the fact that you're enamored by what you see, you don't look into what he's supposed to be doing, and is he doing that? Or is he doing any of these things you think a black president would do? A lot of people miss the whole thing. So they're ready to jump to the defense of Barack Obama and don't know shit about politics, more or less a political candidate who got, you know, chosen to be president. Black or white. It's just that, hey, that guy looks like me. That's enough. And a lot of people were just, just shocked by that. But they were shocked for 8 fucking years and don't know some of the shit he did was not kosher pickle, man. Some of the stuff he tried to do, we applauded him trying to do it and then coming on and talking, and you stayed glued to the TV to hear him. But what he had to do behind closed doors, I don't give a shit, president or no. You don't have power to do what you want to do. I don't give a shit what you say. You think he would not have awarded reparations? I I don't give a shit what he said in front of the camera or what he said behind closed doors. We're not going to let you award reparations. It ain't got shit to do with whether or not you think you're entitled, or black people should get it, or the Jews should have got it, no. We're not awarding them that. They're close enough to being in power now, and we're talking to your ass about giving them the rest of the financial ability? Hell no, we're not doing that. President, and what are you gonna do? Walk out there by himself and award us reparations? No. But Obamacare is got people choked up right now. How did they get away with doing that? And they're trying to get rid of that shit so fast now, but they don't know why. I think it's more or less because Obama is the name in front of the care that the people are getting, and they need it. They don't want that. You got to wash any evidence of his existence away by any means you can. Especially any health care he gave that bettered people, who needed it. So yeah, you think about the 41st president, George H.W. Bush, how he came along, then Clinton comes along, then George W. Bush comes along, and it seems like every president is cleaning up after the other one. Republican, Democrat. Okay, now they don't believe in the Democrats anymore, so now they think we got to go back Republican, to the point where you didn't even put the most qualified person in office. That's what you have now. But I was the person that said, no, they need to let him do what he's going to do, because you wouldn't believe it if you didn't, and you think something was crooked if he didn't win. So let's go ahead and just allow this run to go as far as it's going to go. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Some things are getting better. I won't overlook what are his accomplishments, financially, unemployment, things of that nature. But like just the existence, just his empowering position, it's like, yeah, it's like it goes to his head, or has gone to his head, to where you don't think you got to be presidential to be the president. That was never a question. That was never a question before. Does this guy act like a president? No, this guy act like he a fucking baller, some kind of player. His views on women, yeah, it seemed like somebody should have already took a shot from a tall building or something like that. Not by me, but just like there's no way anybody will accept him talking like that. He did it on stage to Hillary Clinton, to her face, and she thought, you saw her facial expression, she thought, it's like, look at this fucking guy. Did you hear what he said? He just called me disgusting, despicable. We don't name call like that, just out and open during a debate. And people were like, I don't give a shit. I'm not voting for her. I don't give a shit what he says to you, what he calls you. Okay, well, it's not just her as Hillary Clinton, the politician. It's women in general. His perception of women is distorted. It's not fucking cool. It's totally not cool. And I don't know how many more times it has to happen towards women or people of color or people who are considered a minority, to where it's like, okay, when is enough enough? The same people that you regulate over and delegate over are still the people that vote. You don't have, you don't let it be known you have a negative perception of them, because if that's the case, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't be in charge of anybody. Maybe you shouldn't be looking out for the welfare of anybody, because you're gonna base that on who gets it because of what they look like, instead of whether they qualify, or whether their lives are worthy or not, or whether their lives are precious or not. That kind of thing should have went out with Hitler. He didn't think of people's lives being valued, and he thought of a different way to discriminate against them, by eliminating them. We don't want any remnants of that ever again in this or any other country. So get behind 4-5, stand behind 4-5, but can you continue to condone 4-5? I think some people are going to change their minds about him, but nonetheless, if we don't all get on board about who's going to be next, we'll still stay divided between Democrat, Republican, Independent, conservative. Damn all that. We all need to be looked out for in one way, shape, fashion, or form. And damn it, if we don't all look at each other equally, hell, how can you really elect anybody who's going to be on our side without choosing sides?